So there was a time in this church, as in many churches, that if you weren't attending here, I'm sure it was happening wherever you were attending, when children's time was a weekly part of the service. And during children's time, someone would say, would the children like to come down? And then in this church, they would, walk over here and stand here and generally sit down. And all the kids would gather, right? And then a lot of times, a story would be read. Marion Bacon liked to tell stories, and she liked to, or Marion Bacon, Marion Ryan, whichever time of her life you knew her. And so today I'm going to talk a little bit about this story, The Missing Piece. It's by Shel Silverstein. Are you familiar with it? How many of you are? Can I see? Just so I know? Okay, because I've been surprised as I've been talking about this last couple of days, how many people really aren't. They're familiar with where the sidewalk ends, right? But not necessarily the missing piece. And what was really nice about children's time, one of the things I loved about it is it gave little ones a chance to feel like they were part of the service, a part of the congregation, because they would come up. And inevitably, there would be a young one who would call out to his mom or dad, right? Or wave, or cry, or turn around and run back. And it was just a delightful time to see our children who are such a vital part of our community. I also liked children's time because many of the stories came from children's books, and that just reinforces the importance of literature, and this English teacher loves that. So it was really a time that made me very happy. Well, today Kurt is going to talk about wholeness. And when he told me that was going to be the subject for today, this children's book, The Missing Piece, flooded my memory. It's about a round circle that is looking for its missing piece, right? And it's about a circle that's missing a part of itself. And it says, and then one day it came upon another piece that seemed to fit just right. Because this circle is rolling over the oceans, going through swamps and jungles, up and down mountains. It can't find the piece that fits just right. And because it's missing a piece, it can't roll very fast. So as a result, it has to stop to smell the flowers or have a conversation with a worm. And all the time it's rolling slowly, looking for its piece, it sings. I'm sure that the allegory there, the metaphor, which is another thing I love as an English teacher, the metaphor isn't hard to pick up, right? We, humankind, sometimes we feel as though there's something missing in our lives. And we search high and low, over mountains, over oceans, looking for whatever it is that it takes to complete us. We search and search for what it is to make us feel whole. Like the circle in the story, we search desperately outside of ourselves, looking for completeness. We seek completeness in relationships, achievements, possessions, cosmetic surgery, anything that we think is out there that's going to complete us and make us feel whole. Advertising and cultural norms have done a good job convincing us that we need outward approval. So we look everywhere out there for wholeness. Well, in the story, as the circle moves along on its journey, it finds several pieces along the way. It searches tirelessly for the right fit. But unfortunately, one piece is too big, one piece is too small, one piece has sharp corners, and it hurts, Then it finds one that is not the right shape at all. But in its desperation, the circle tries desperately to make that piece fit. Ever done that before? Either with a person, not the right fit, but man, I'm going to make it work. Or a job, or a house, or a myriad of things. But alas, finally the circle finds the one piece that fits just right. Now, because this fits just right, the circle can roll faster than it ever has. The fit is so perfect that the circle just keeps rolling really quickly, and it rolls past the flowers, past the worm, because there's no way to slow it down. And guess what? Not only does it roll past the flowers and the worms, but because the fit is so tight and so perfect, it can no longer sing. And this inability to sing causes something to awaken in the circle. And the circle decides that even though it's a perfect fit, I'm going to set it aside and continue on my way. The circle understands that it doesn't need something outside of itself to make it whole. Wholeness comes through self-acceptance and a growth mindset. You know, life is a constant state of change. And searching for external fulfillment will only lead to our frustration. But internal wholeness is achievable when we live our lives connected to God. God loves us unconditionally. We don't need to fix anything because we are loved just as we are. Wholeness isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming honest and real. Step into your inner world, confident that your missing piece will fit just right when it is filled by the loving essence of God. Something happened, and now I know He touched me and made me whole. Welcome to worship. We are so glad you're here.